So if you're watching this video, you're probably interested on going on a big old bike trip, maybe even a short bike trip, and filming it. This is going to be about the filmmaking and gear setup that I use for filming a bike trip. I've been cycling for the last 6 months from Singapore up to China, through Southeast Asia to this point where I am now in the south of Laos. To film this journey, I've been using a number of cameras, and I'm going to talk to you and tell you what cameras I'm using. The first camera I'm going to talk about is the camera that's actually filming this. It's a Panasonic Lumix G7. Really good little camera. There's a few features I wanted on this camera specifically for a bike tour. I wanted it to be lightweight, bing, tick. I wanted it to film in 4K, which this camera does. Even though I don't export these videos onto YouTube in 4K, in the future I might want to do something else with these videos, maybe make some sort of film or documentary, and having that in 4K makes it more future-proof. I wanted a fully articulating screen, and that's a feature that really helps when you're trying to compose a selfie style shot when you're holding the camera. Gives you a bit more flexibility. It's got a micro four thirds sensor, which means there's a number of lenses that you can use for this camera. There's Olympus lenses as well as the Panasonic lenses. Speaking of lenses, let me talk through some of the lenses I use. First lens is my 45 to 150. Okay, this lens is a zoom lens. It is really good for getting them types of shot where you want to either have the camera set away at a distance and you're going to cycle towards it and you want to get the background to look closer to the subject, which is the cyclist as it's heading towards it. It's also really handy just to use for if you don't want to get close into something but you don't want to walk in there, you want to get close, which often happens on a bike tour. Really good versatile bit of kit, and it's something that I use probably about 10 to 15% of the time. So lens number 2 is this Olympus 25mm prime lens. You can use Olympus lenses with this Panasonic camera, which is really useful. It's again micro four thirds, which means it fits onto there, not a problem. A 25mm prime lens. This goes down to an aperture of 1.8, which means that you get lots of light into that camera, which means it's really good in low light, it's really quick, and it makes the footage look really pretty and really sexy, in my opinion. It's the lens, if I want to get something that looks artistically really pleasing, that's the lens I'll go to. It's hard work because there's no zoom, you have to move your feet and get in close, but it's really good little lens. So the third and final lens I'm going to talk about is the lens on this camera that's filming right now. It's a 14 to 42 standard kit lens that comes with the Panasonic Lumix G7. Really good little lens. It's the lens I probably use for about 90% of the time. It allows me to zoom, have quite a fairly wide open shot, and it's just a good little workhorse. The downfalls of this camera at this price range is the fact that it's not weather sealed. That's a little bit annoying, especially when I'm generally outdoors. But to kind of counter that problem, I have a second camera. So let me show you my second camera. My second camera is the GoPro Hero 7. Good little action cam. It only came out fairly recently. I use this when it's raining, when it's wet. I use it for big wide shots, and I use it pretty much when I'm cycling. To record the audio on here, it really takes away the wind. China, pulling out the stops. This action cam, really variable. You can put it in interesting places, get lots of B-roll, which is the supporting roll that's going to go over the top of the main roll that you're shooting. It's a really good little bit of kit, this, and it's something that we both use, me and Lucia, when we're on this bike trip, to get some different perspectives whilst we're cycling. Let me show you how I put the GoPro on the bicycle. There's a number of ways to do it, but generally, a lot of the time, I have it set up on my handlebars. At the front of my bike, I've got a front handlebar bag, and then here, I have a big selfie stick set up. This allows me to put the GoPro here so I can talk to it, don't have to put my hands on it, and it keeps it stable. How have I attached the selfie stick? I've got a Velcro strap, which is a GoPro strap. Got it strapped around there, but any Velcro strap will do that. And at the bottom, just to the front of the frame, I've got myself this Velcro strap, which helps keep it stable. It's really quick and easy to be able to turn it around while cycling. So I can do it like this, have it in front of me, and I can talk to the camera and get some cycling shots like this. Really good place to put it. It's not the only place I'll put it. Often I'll have it behind me, I'll put it underneath a bungee, and I'll be able to use it on the stick to get some different action shots. It's always good to get a good variation of shots. So that's what I'll do with the GoPro. My third and final camera that I use is a pretty cool camera, and it's this, the Mavic Air drone. The Mavic Air comes in this little carry case, which is perfect for a cycle tour. Really light and compact whilst it's in here. This usually fits in a front pannier along with the remote. The Mavic Air is probably the best drone you could get at the moment in 2019 to go on a cycle tour, in my opinion. It's lightweight, small, really good quality, has lots of really good features. There are better drones on the market for sure, like the Mavic Pro and the Mavic 2, but these are a bit bigger, a bit bulkier, and it's not something I'd want to be carrying on a bike tour. The drone is really good to be used for establishing shots. To set the scene, think really big open landscapes with your bicycle coming through there. It's a really good tool to use. A lot of people now use drones, and so we're getting used to seeing that aerial shot. So it's trying not to overuse the drone footage and just use it appropriately to set the scene. Decent 4K ability filming on a flying machine. Brilliant. To fly the drone, you do need a mobile phone, even though it does come with this remote. The remote's pretty small, but this just extends the range of the drone. You still need a smartphone of some sort, which then connects into this part here. You put the smartphone, and that is then used as your controller effectively to be able to see the camera and be able to see where it goes. So you can fly the drone without this remote, but it just doesn't go as far. So you really do need the remote to get the best out of the drone. One more piece of kit that I'm going to talk about, which adds a lot of value to this filming, and it's something I'm using right now at this very moment, and that is a tripod. So here we go, this is the tripod that I'm using. Fairly big tripod, as you can see. I've got a fluid head, tripod head at the top. It's a Manfrotto one, so let me just focus. It allows it to go to tilt and to pan across really smoothly. If I could recommend one piece of kit that's going to improve your shots, and it's something that I probably need to use a little bit more because it's a bit of effort to get it out, is the tripod. The tripod, relatively cheap when you compare it to the cameras and lenses and drones that I've got, but it gives you a stable platform to put that camera on, makes it look professional, makes it look a lot more stable. When you're trying to hold a camera, it's naturally going to shake a little bit, and that's going to detract from the professionalism that you're trying to get. And for sure, there's moments where you don't want to be using the tripod. If you see something and it's in the quick moment, you don't want to be getting a tripod out. But for a deliberate shot, you're going to be cycling past, having a tripod just gives you that real flexibility to be able to get these shots. You definitely don't need a big tripod like this. I've decided to bring this because I've committed to filming this journey, and it's something that I really find value from having a big tripod, because I can put it in the middle of the road and get interesting shots. But if I was just starting out, I used to carry a small Gorilla Pod, very small, about here, type tripod. It's got flexible legs, and you can place that up on the side of the road, on walls and on fences, and you can still get them high up shots. Like I said, one bit of kit, get a tripod. So that's my basic film making kit for a bike tour. However, there's still lots of kit that I've not covered in this video, which I can cover in a separate video. Things like storage, my processes to edit the videos, the computer I use, the software I use to edit the videos. Quite a lot of kit and equipment goes into making these videos, and it's not as simple as just getting your camera and filming it. It can be that simple. You can use any camera that you want to on a bike tour. I know people that have travelled and used just a mobile phone to film some really good videos. So if you're just starting out, you've got a 4K filming device probably in your pocket. That's what most phones nowadays can film in. So if you have that and you get a mini little tripod and you'll be able to set it up, you can use a phone and get some really good footage, and you can edit that using free software like iMovie or other free software available to get a really good film. All of the kit and equipment I've got is kit that I've gathered and I've accumulated over time. So it's something that you definitely don't need to start out with, but I just thought I'd give you an insight into what I'm using at this moment in time after 5 years of making cycle touring videos. If you found this video to be useful, just seeing what kit and equipment I've got, and you'd like to see any future videos about my other processes, the post-processing, how I store all the data, how I make these videos, I'm more than happy to do that if you people would like to see it. But if you know anyone that's going out on a bike tour and they would like to film a video, why don't you share this video with them? They'll really appreciate that. It'd be awesome if you want to follow our journey and continue to see the actual proper videos we make. We're trying to make a video for every Saturday, that's my aim, and you'll be able to watch our journey as we continue cycling and exploring the world by bike. So if you subscribe to our channel, that'd be mega. Right, that's the end of that. Hope you have a great day. Look out for the next video.